We are live now.
Great, great. Hi, Ian.
Hey,
So, um,
you're in
how
Dubai.
was
I've
your day?
not I've not been out today, so I don't know what's the weather like. What is it?
Oh, it was a not very sunny day. I don't know, a lot of clouds, but still hot, still hot. So I I have to get used to this, like being cold in the building and super hot outside.
Right. Yeah, I actually I already had one live stream earlier today. I was on a podcast with the Abu Dhabi chapter of New York University. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I was talking to a student audience about the entrepreneurship and how you need to find a mentor for yourself and how starting a company or doing something entrepreneurial is actually safe because nothing super bad will happen to you even if you fail. um, and then I thought of you when I was talking about it because I remember us sitting in Abu Dhabi, um, in a coffee shop, and when you explained all your entrepreneurial journey, I was quite impressed. I mean, I don't often meet people who are both that entrepreneurial and technical at the same time, so you are a
Thank you.
very rare combination.
Yeah, thank you, man. I really appreciate that because, like whatever you said about the mentoring part that you teach the students, I also very much value when people who are very good at the space that I'm operating in, when they give me feedback, and this is something it's very pleasant to hear, but also it's very useful. It's encouraging, you know. So thanks.
Yeah, of course. Well, and John, we're discussing John today, but also would love it to be a laid back conversation, including like your story as well. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, why don't we start from just shedding the light on who Mark Okhman is?
I love one phrase that my teacher at school when I graduated from school, uh, uh, every teacher had to choose a few pupils so they could say a few words about them. And the teacher with whom I spent, it was my infographics teacher. Uh, so actually learned how to program just because of her. And she said just one phrase. She said, the best way to explain who's Mark is this guy is always searching for something. So I I use this phrase a lot of times when I have to introduce myself, but in general, I'm originally a full stack developer, but I just started with like startup scene quite early. It was a second year of university when we created a project called Your Place. It was like a minimal version of Foursquare and for Central Asia because I was born there. And basically, after the second year of university, we started it, and all of a sudden, one of the accelerators in Prague, Czech Republic, they decided to buy in. So they bought a portion of the company, and they brought us to Prague to accelerate. And from that moment, everything just started. I finished my university almost remotely because I was just traveling and doing the project even when I was back to town. I almost didn't attend the lectures, to be honest. I had to learn by myself and just pass the exams. And
When was it, and how old are you now?
I'm 29, and this was something like 2016, I believe. Wait, no. 2000, 2015, I graduated, I think. This was 2011, 12. So it probably was 2012. It's hard
Mm,
hard to get back to this because I
two
don't
years ago,
talk about
bro.
this
Almost
often.
11.
Yeah, it was more than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, since then I worked in multiple spaces. I was touching crypto a bit. Like the deepest dive before Ton was in 2017, where I was part of the crypto commune. It was just a group of people who were doing their coin. You don't know this coin for sure. So uh, basically,
What kind
I
of
was.
coin?
It was called Cripply, and it was like community driven coin, and but it never got anywhere. So it was basically like a fun project of one guy who was funding it a bit. Yeah. So, but I was working in nonprofit for quite a few years in Germany. So I was like technical person for like that was the moment when I went very global because this nonprofit organization had like just 1 second. It's just a bit something got into my throat. So basically, this was the time when I went very global because the guys from Germany they had like 15 offices globally, and I was leading their digital, helping them to build scalable infrastructures for their web. And but at the same time, I was always doing some gigs. Like I was entrepreneurial, so there was some medical company who wanted to enter new market by creating an app that would actually onboard a lot of people like for scheduling taking medicines, and I was like helping them to enter Central Asia market. All of a sudden I went to Tel Aviv and was funding there a like a parking app that was helping the people in the areas where they could not park. It was helping to actually kind of exchange parking spots once they're needed for someone. And this is there was a chain of projects in a very different spots, and that's why I think at some point I realized that I'm not made for project thinking. I'm made for ecosystem thinking. So this is why like crypto and especially Ton in its early stages, which is now, it's such a good place for me. Like I can invest in projects, then start new project that is going to help the projects that I invested in, and then I can teach developers. And once they learn, they actually join my projects and they develop in my projects. So this is like my scale is more of a like ecosystem level. I think so. I just feel more comfortable in this
Yeah.
scale.
How did you get to all of this?
Do you mean how they got in tone or?
Ton and stuff.
It was actually very interesting. My very good friend, he was telling me about Ton for like months in 2000. It was 2022. He started to tell me from January, I think, but I didn't want to look at it because I had like a lot of circumstances, like with my family. I just moved to Czech Republic, and I just didn't listen for him and didn't get closer to Ton. But then I joined a hackathon in Prague, and this was a moment when I was like, okay, I should actually get more deeper into this blockchain. Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, it was my entrance was interesting because I never spoke about this publicly. So some people will know some cool insights about me in Ton because it was like I came to the hackathon. No one knew me in Ton at all, and I just joined the hackathon and I saw that so many cool people there. And I was like, okay, why don't I speak with those people on camera? And I filmed like 5 interviews. And in 1 month, I was invited with my co-founder. I was invited to Dubai for Ton Fam because no one did YouTube in Ton before that, and we basically just became very public, and everyone saw us just because of 5 YouTube videos. Of course, in the parallel, I joined the team Ton Wales, amazing team. I was programming with them a little bit. I started to communicate with Ton Foundation a lot, but like basically in 1.5 months, this synergy just happened, and I got plugged in into Ton like crazy. Uh, this was quite surprising for me too, but I was also very happy about that.
Okay, and then this all just grew as a
Yeah,
snowball, right?
yeah, yeah. Like
Okay, and
every week
where are
something
you
new.
spending now? What has the last like 2 3 months have been for you?
Um, Actually, I will say in two dimensions. One dimension would be like ton ecosystem. So there was a Dora hacks for the last 2 months, Dora hacks hackathon, and I actually went to India, to Istanbul, also to Prague, like all these local hackathons that took place. I met so many people who are excited about Ton and very new to Ton, and I actually was very impressed by some things, how things improved since I joined Ton in terms of programming, and how still there is a big gap for newcomers. And I was so happy that I'm in Dubai right now, and we just finished a big video course. So we are going to publish a video course on Coursera and Udemy. So it's going to try to close this gap. So newcomers would have like faster onboarding. So I would say
Hmm.
last few months was for me a lot of educational stuff, also a lot of travels, and we also we got very close to launch of our launchpad, Ton and Co launchpad. So we are getting ready for fundraise. We have MVP. I might even show you something later on today.
Interesting.
uh, and it's also exclusive because I never showed it publicly to anyone.
Okay. What I like about our conversations every time we speak is that you like to dig into like the depths of things. And I know that for this live stream, like there are particular topics that you want to raise. So feel free to like steer this any way you want,
Hmm.
because you're so deep into the ecosystem, which is good and bad, because you see all the good and bad things. So that's sometimes it's like
Yeah.
how can you sleep at night knowing all of all of the things happening
Oh,
and
I
so
sleep
much
very good.
information flows.
I sleep very good. That's my hobby.
Good.
I almost even do it professionally, so this is not a problem. But indeed, I have to be very careful on what I'm talking, because, of course, I don't work in Tone Foundation. I'm not working in any of the, like, I'm building a like sector of ecosystem like Tone and Co. I'm trying for Tone and Co to become very useful for the ecosystem. And at some point, when you're in this position, whatever you say is taken as a truth, you know. But
Mhm.
that's why I always say disclaimer: I'm not related to founders. I'm not related to foundation and current management of the ecosystem. I'm an independent builder. So whatever I say, this is my take on it. And in some way, this is very good for our listeners too, because they can get an opinion of someone who joined the ecosystem, and I can maybe structure in a way why I think it's worth of joining it now. So this might be a better take for people who listen to us than someone who will come from like official positions, and they will be very talking maybe very even more carefully than I talk, right?
Yeah. Why don't we start with the basics? Like what is Dawn?
Wow,
You know, many
Tom.
people I say Ton, like I say we are thinking of investing in Ton ecosystem and building on Ton. They're like, oh, Tron, Justin Sun. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no, no, guys. Like, so it's
It's
Ton.
this one letter. A lot of times it breaks in immediately, and
Yeah,
people are like associating it with it. No, a tone would be better to associate it with Telegram, because Telegram had an ICO back in the days, like in the ICO first era, when Telegram decided to make one, and it was
yeah.
called Gram.
2018.
Yeah, and basically, but something that another misconception I meet quite often: people think that Ton is a cryptocurrency. I would say Ton is a network. This is what I used to say for those who try to get onboarded into Ton, because it is indeed a network. Yes, the blockchain is like a backbone of the parts of the network of different services that we have. But it will be false to say that Ton is just a currency, it's just a coin, you know. So um, Ton is a network, and
So
Ton
it's a
coin,
blockchain, right?
yeah, yeah, it's a layer
Mm.
one. It's a layer one blockchain,
Is it a
layer one
POS?
coin. Sorry.
Is it a DPoS, POS? What is it? The
Yeah,
consensus layer.
it is proof of stake, and so yeah, layer one proof of stake. This is something like I used to people that they already know this, and maybe that's bad thing that I'm too deep into the ecosystem. That yeah, we are proof of stake. There was a small like if you'll start googling about Ton, you'll probably find something about mining, but like we had a certain period of mining, but mining was just a creative way of running ICO. So we didn't sell Ton coins. We people had to actually to do some mathematical computations to receive as a reward some Ton coins. But since it ended, there is no mining, absolutely no proof of work, nothing. Is a proof of stake, and yeah, so Ton is extremely fast, extremely uh, let's say stable in terms of like it can scale almost infinitely. So this was all made keeping in mind that Telegram wanted to put their user base on blockchain. So what could you fork in 2018 to provide ability, even let's say 500 millions of Telegram users, like there was nothing to fork. You had to create your own. And I think still it's
Yeah.
very questionable which of the blockchain can run with this amount of users. So a lot of decisions is done actually a chain on its own. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
blockchain.
Joseph is
So
asking. Yeah,
yeah,
Joseph,
Joseph.
it's a blockchain.
Yeah, it is a blockchain, but it is empowering the whole network of tools. So we have Ton storage, we have Ton DNS, we have Ton proxy, we have like about to get Ton payments. I'm going to talk about the roadmap a little bit more, but now we are just talking about like what it is essentially. So Ton, what I was talking about, basically, we have a lot of um, yeah, I was talking about the scalability. So Ton is able to scale almost infinitely because there is such a concept of um, work chains, and also, by the way, there's a new concepts of like extra currencies that is not even there yet. So we kind of like uncovering what Nikolai Durov was having in mind, and he invented on paper. And because it's now community driven platform, like community driven blockchain and network, we are actually a lot of core devs are just trying to figure out what was in mind and build it, you know. So we read white paper, then we see what is there now, and we kind of uncover for us what Ton is. But yeah, if we get back to the what Ton is, essentially it is a layer one blockchain, proof of stake. It is it has a strong bond historically with Telegram, because Telegram wanted to make something like this as an ICO, but they had to actually give it to the community, so the community would be running it. And we are super lucky that certain community members actually got it together, and we have what we have now. And we are hoping very much that Telegram already showing a lot of interest to Ton, because when Telegram originally stopped the idea with ICO because of their relationships with SEC in US, there was multiple forks. There was like True Tone, New Tone, and there was different forks. People were trying to do
Right.
something, but
Yeah.
Tone, the Tone as you see, the one you see now, this is the one that was supported. Let's say it went into direction which was very similar to what Telegram wanted to do. And this is why
Mhm.
we see now the interest of Telegram, how they build a fragment, for example. They sell usernames as NFTs now. They sell anonymous numbers as NFTs. And just recently, Telegram started to also sell the Telegram Premium in Ton Coin. So
No way. I just bought a premium today, but did not use Stone Coin. Shame on
mhm,
me. And hey, bro. So you mentioned Nikolai Durov, and I thought, all right, like Ethereum has its Vitalik Buterin,
yeah, yeah,
and Vitalik is a great face for Ethereum. It's probably one of the factors that made Ethereum like stand out, and no other chain had such a bright spokesperson, if you will. Who is the
yeah.
Vitalik for Ton?
There's no. I would say there's no, because we all know that Nikolai Durov wrote this white paper, and but since then he has nothing to do with Ton. I don't even know if the core devs have access to Nikolai, because there is a core team, a few very advanced developers who are building the Ton together, and but they're not very public. They're not very public, and I wouldn't say that one of them is a certain face. I would say Tone Foundation is the face of Tone, and there's a CEO, Steve Yoon, and there's a few more guys who are working in Tone Foundation that actually are the ones who are going to public and building the relationships with the community. You know.
I see. All right. So so how like I don't know if you know other chains to like make a proper comparison of Ton versus other things like other layer one solutions.
Mhm.
But like, what is your impression of Ton overall, and where do you think it's gonna be heading?
Something to know about Tone ecosystem, it's an important thing to know, is that we have, I would say even to say more than half people are from Web 2. This is will be very true statement, but I think that we have even bigger portion of Web 2 people who for whom Tone is the first blockchain. So and you there's pros and cons of that. So the big advantage of that is that these people are coming from Web 2 uh, products. So they used to build Web 2 products. And you know that user experience is one of the most important competitor advantages that you could get in Web 2, right? So in crypto, what I saw that is that the user experience competition is not very hard, because it's like it works, it's decentralized, let's use it then. Even if it's quite hard to use, you know. And in Tuan, we have a lot of people from VK, a lot of people from other Web2 projects that they they build projects like very in a very good way, usable way. So Ton has a lot of things that are just they even for other crypto guys. When I go to some meetups with Ethereum guys, I'm sending them some Ton coin on Telegram, and they're like, "Damn, that was smooth." So
Right.
they're surprised how smooth it is to actually get some tons, and how to exchange them, and a lot of things that a lot
Yeah.
of decisions.
Because it's what? It's like 26 on CoinMarketCap or something like that.
Yeah,
Let me
it
check it
was
out.
at least a few days ago. It was 26.
Yeah, it's 26 rank right now. But hey,
Mm-hmm.
what's interesting is first of all, people don't know about Ton. It's definitely like does not have its limelight yet. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the We don't know when the hour of glory will come. However, like having the 26th rank on CoinMarketCap is something. And I'm wondering like
Exactly.
how the hell is this possible to be like number 26? And of course, having so much potential for growth with like being associated with Telegram, but not many blockchain guys even know of Ton really.
Um, I first I wouldn't say that not many people know of Tom, because I wherever I go and I talk with some VCs often, people are talking to each other about Tom, and the thing is that a lot of people are scared a bit by this story with that was between between Telegram and SEC. and maybe
Hmm.
this is some kind of a blocker that was valid for a certain time, but I don't believe it's valid anymore. So I would say we should actually expect a flow of people actually getting on board into Ton. Um, I don't know how the mechanics of CoinMarketCap works in depth. So you're the OG in crypto, so you must know better. Like how is it possible? Like in like in regards of the total supply, the volumes, the whatever, where you're listed. What are the rules to get on CoinMarketCap? Because I'm not aware of those rules. But this is true that there's so much potential in Tone still, and we are not overflown with developers and investors. We're still kind of like very much lacking those.
Yeah,
I
it's a
think so.
sleeping giant, meaning,
Yeah,
if it gets more integrated and popular within Telegram, and Telegram being a messenger has its own like potential for viral mechanics and
exactly.
user onboarding. Uh, do you think it's going to be the coin number one or coin number two?
Um, I would say in an ideal world that we often talk about this with some greatest minds in Ton. In Ton, there's a lot of guys who are very smart. We envision it that Ton is a good alternative to Ethereum. It's a very um, it's it's much more it's an advanced version of Ethereum, let's say. And in these matters, I would say in ideal world this would be number two cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin is obviously the gold, and then there's Ton. But this is all speculation, of course, right? I have no idea if this is going to be the case because it depends on so many circumstances, right? We need Telegram to go hard on Ton and actually integrate it everywhere. We need the community to actually build up. We need the people to actually like people can start using sending tons to each other, right? But if DeFi community will actually decide to go and build there, right? This is we depend on so many things, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to make sure that I build some stuff that is going to be of use once the giant awakes, right? So I do high stakes on that. I wait for the giant to actually to wake up, and I see a lot of potential in this connection with Telegram, and I think that this fork of Ton or like from the all the possible that they were trying to get together, like this tone that we have now, the true tone, it just does a lot of things right the way Telegram is like intended it to be in the beginning. So that's why I think it's very likely that Telegram is going to go even harder on integrating Tone.
Now let's discuss things that you think need to be fixed on Dawn.
Need to be
Where are some
fixed.
of the critical points or issues that you'd be like, no, like we have to figure that all out?
Um, we have a certain problems with the programming language. Not the problems. It's like we have the programming language is Fancy, and Fancy together with the architecture of Ton, it gives a lot of troubles for the developers in the beginning. So it's hard for them to first understand the architecture of Ton, and then one more hard thing is the Fancy language. So what we actually already improving very significantly,
Yeah.
we're working on the.
So fun doesn't stand for
Oh, no, no,
fun
no.
at all. It's not fun.
It's absolutely not fun. We that was first month in Ton. I was just walking around with this joke that the biggest lie in Ton is this three letters fun before
Yeah,
the C.
definitely. When
But
I
we're
first looked
working.
at it, I was like, by the way, C was my first like professional and serious language that I used for programming. So I have a lot of love towards C, also like plenty of nostalgic feelings. But when it gets to like really getting things done in programming fast without like needing to think of like the memory allocation and every
Mm-hmm.
minute, low level aspect of it, it's probably not the most practical language to use. So I predict there will be like the frameworks and like libraries wrapping over fancy, offering the
Yeah,
more high level functionality. Really,
there's already. If you guys want to learn more about these potential libraries that are going to take over Fancy, there is one called Tact, and you can just Google it. It's googling very easy. So Tact is a programming language that compiles into Fancy. So Fancy compiles like through certain steps. It like ends up to be a bytecode. We have compilers that bring the Fancy into bytecode through another language, but it's not important. But Tact is compiling into Fancy. So for now, it's not even compiling into bytecode. So you will have to read the Fancy. You will be able to read the Fancy, and I don't know. We we see a lot of potential in this new language tag, but for now, it's not possible to use it in production because it's just not safe. So you don't want to build contracts that are potentially unsafe, right? So
yeah,
we
hundred
still use
percent.
Fonseca.
By the way, so as you were talking about it, I'm like, could this guy be the Vitalik of Ton? Although, like he's not built Ton, but he's promoting it so much and so much education you're doing. You're probably
Um,
the main spokesperson among the community, like not of it, like from the official foundation, but still.
yeah, this is something that I really I was surprised that I, I, I so much people know me somehow. It was surprising for me because YouTube is a big power, and just being just being active and public, all of a sudden you come to the spotlight. So people like thinking of Ton, they start to name people, but they not always naming the real founders because a lot of them they don't even know. So they sometimes put my name as there as well. But I don't think that this is something that is needed because I'm really careful with this because I'm building my project. So at the end of the day, my goal is not to promote. It's on my blockchain. I didn't let's say
Mm,
I promote Tone because it's interesting for my project. So in this matters, I'm not a fanatic, really, let's say, uh, and a maximalist. I just really want to bring the best of the Tone to people, and then I will profit with that. So I'm super open for that. I'm like I said, I was going to hackathons with um, actual like seminars and workshops all over the globe, and I'm going to continue with that. But there's a lot of very cool people in tone management even. So we got this new DevRel recently. His name is Anthony Tsiverev, and he's a very interesting person to talk to also. And I think that just a lot of them are very busy managing the ecosystem, and there's so many things to do. There's so many things to develop. Like I'm going to talk a bit about the roadmap as well, and the tooling is the tooling needs so much help. You were asking about what could we fix, and obviously I would put more budgets on tooling so we get developers more happy. When we get developers more happy, they're building faster, better products. So and this new DevRel actually like this is I think this is his mission to make sure the developer community is actually
oh,
like
okay.
progressing.
So what is Robin focused on if they've got the new DevRel?
Yeah, as far as I know, the like Robin was working with grants mostly, but of course, when there's lack of competent people, and he's very experienced with a lot of things in crypto, he was also doing a lot of DevRel things, and
Right, got it. Okay.
yeah, and this DevRel question was quite a big one for some time, and I was super happy that one of the guys who is competent enough is now like having this position. So I'm looking forward to to see what will be the like global changes, because there will be for sure.
All right. Well, main question of the day is Tone investable? Is Tone an investable ecosystem?
That's that's a proper question. I think this is something that any investor or builder, this is a question that everyone is asking himself before joining anything. And when I also saw this name, how we name the live stream and what we make the
Yeah,
core
because I'm
question.
curious. Like it's many of my watchers. They are the VCs and family offices,
Hmm.
or just the individuals co-investing in the deals, and that's the key consideration, really.
Yeah. So if I would have to answer this question, I choose four dimensions on which I would have to say investable or not, because obviously I cannot give invest advices, and I don't. So to put this pressure away from me, I kind of want to split why I think it's investable and what is my logic behind it, why I spend so much time here. So the first one would be, it is investable by nature. So when you get something like this, where you have a massive user base that is somehow related with this blockchain, right? Because it was Telegram's idea. Telegram has, they claim to have 1 billion users soon. So, and then you have a blockchain that is technically able to carry out all this user base, right? So we are not just saying that we are scalable and cool. We actually have a user base for it. So it was made for Telegram initially. So by nature, this is something crazy big. So it is investable just because of what it is. So that's one dimension to look at. And the second one is, let's say, by stage. So it's very early stage. You always want, your risks are kind of higher when you get something that early, but you have enough arguments to risk on that. So it's, we barely have DeFi. Like we have some dexes, and like it was the first time we heard about some derivatives, like ready protocol for derivatives. It was just on this Dora Hacks hackathon. So the DeFi space is just come and build. We have this funny saying: you put a stick into the ground, and the tree grows. So it's like it's such a place where you can build anything, and it will be probably the only thing in its case, right? So it's a stage where you could get a lot of benefits if you build stuff now. And this is, let's say, it's investable because it's very early stage. And I think for a lot of people, it's important to know who else invested, right? So we always look who does something before we actually even try it. So I wanted to show you. I don't know if I show you my screen, for example. Uh,
Yeah, you can do that.
I will try to share my screen because I wanted to show you. Uh, I will get back to the stage. So, uh, just so you know, this is like, these are tokens that are in this ecosystem. You see
Hold
my
on a
screen, right?
sec. I need to add this to the stream in a momento. Yeah, here we go.
So you can see, this is an amazing platform. My good friends, they actually gathered all the information on trading of all the jetons. So jetons are like, they're showing the maturity of the projects inside of ecosystem. Not let's say not the native coin, but the volumes we get like in last hours. So you see, like in last 24 hours, we had 11 new owners and this volume. So obviously this is not, and total holders is 1,000. Imagine, and this is top one token. So um, it shows that it was needed to show these volumes, because obviously this amount of people couldn't generate this kind of volume with the current status quo. Yeah, so it's very
Oh
Um,
wow! So we are that early on.
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
it's a reason to FOD kind of, but I look at this from a very opportunistic perspective.
I
That
don't
that is
I don't
so
think it's even
early on.
close. I
Wow.
don't think it's a reason to FUD in any circumstance because
No, not
we
at
don't
all.
claim to be super at some super stage, right? We say it's we're open with that. We always say that guys, come and build. We don't have this, we don't have that. So if we would be kind of like saying that we have everything, so come and use, this would be wrong, and this would be a reason to FUD, right? And this is why I'm super happy to show these numbers, for example, because this sells very good for builders, for investors. This is what sells. So you have this potential user base, you have this kind of blockchain that is ready to carry it out, and all of a sudden you see that come and launch your jetons, like give it utility, and you're going to end up in top 10 like in day one. So
That's
I might
interesting.
even share the link to you. I don't know how we will share with the audience, but it's interesting to see the total holders. So I believe scale is probably um, the most
Yeah,
popular.
man. There is a chat function here. As long as you find the chat function in the live streaming app, you can post the link, or
Okay,
we will also leave it in the LinkedIn comments.
okay. Let's leave it because I'm sharing the screen and I will see everything twice now if I open
Yeah.
the streaming app. So basically, that's something I wanted to share with you that even this project Redopt, if you guys ever wanted to invest in some data platforms, I could introduce you to them because that's my good friends and they are so good at like they're just doing average things and they're booming in tone because they're just parsing the blockchain in a better way that anybody else does. So they provide private APIs like I'm like consuming their API for one of my projects. It's such a stage where you could just um, build a lot of relationships and collaborations with projects like that. As far as I know, they're still not invested, I'm not sure if they're raising now, but no one invested yet. So it's an open book, right? Uh,
Yeah. Do you have statistics on how many people are holding Ton?
we had some statistics, something like 2 million active wallets, but I don't like this number because I'm sure that we don't have 2 million active people. And for this, I'm building a project called Tone Forbes. So unfortunately, I cannot show you anything right now, but very soon you can maybe subscribe to my LinkedIn. Very soon I would publish it. But what we are doing there, we are making certain parameters. What do we consider active? So we are having five for now. So how many transactions this wallet has with active wallets, with other active wallets? Then the balances of jetons. So, but we also take only the top jetons. We don't take jetons because that are just minted and sent to everyone that have no utility. We only value the jetons that have utility. Then how many NFTs they have, and then how what is the balance and how much they're staking. So this is some parameters that are actually could be considered as an active wallet. And very soon we are going to release the results. So any user in Tron ecosystem will be able to log in with his wallet and see his place in the whole list. So,
Hmm.
but you will be surprised with the number. It differs from the number that I said that was recently published somewhere officially.
All right. Do you want to show anything else now that you have the screen
Yeah,
open?
yeah. I was talking about the references, and like this is another thing why I think it's very investable, and for many people, reference is important. There's such an ecosystem fund in Toncoin fund, and you could see who else is investing here. So you know what is like ecosystem fund, right? So the guys like
Yeah, you
Cyber
better
Capital.
explain, bro.
So basically, the concept of ecosystem fund is, as far as I understand it as well, is that this fund, his interests are not just to make money. His interests are to make like the blockchain itself very like like I don't know, costing more, like more popular, more successful, whatever. So they like ecosystem fund is taking advantage from both successful projects and the success of the of the blockchain itself, you know. So that's why I would see the list of partners that they partner with as a list of reference. So you could see if Cyberhair Capital or DVF Labs or Huobi and KuCoin, if this is something that uh, makes it more trusted for you, then this kind of references would also, this might be an argument for you why it's investable. So
Why
for
is
me,
it on archive.org?
I don't know why today the website didn't work out. Let me check. So I prepared the plan B. Like initially, it just didn't open. Oh yeah, now it works. Maybe it was just for some downtime from their side. It's just the same.
Mhm. Cool.
Oh yeah, they probably updated it also with the MEXC global. So this is like, this is references you could get if some of you need introduction to Toncoin Fund. Please outreach on LinkedIn. I will be more than happy to introduce you to the people who work in there. Yeah, and another thing I wanted to show as an argument for that, like we're investable, is the roadmap, because we are not even close to finishing whatever is planned. Like we are here, and we have like this amount of things like token bridge, like a lot of things are already done here in the first quarter of 2023, and we have so many things that are going to just I don't know, make Ton such a better place for DAOs, for certain DeFi that wants to bridge into Ton, right? So a lot of things.
What I
And
find the most interesting is that, like, I'm holding my phone and I'm already on Telegram, and if I was able to just get everything done without leaving the app, I think that's a killer feature.
yeah, and there is a cool thing, the concept that is now it's about to start to emerge, because again, we are, in a way, we are explorers. We want to figure out what's the best way to do something, and Telegram already has this concept of Telegram web apps. So we are utilizing, if you go to @wallet, this the most famous wallet in Ton, it's actually custodial. um, you will see that it is a TVA. So it's a Telegram web app. And as far as I know, with this new DevRel that we have, there's going to be a lot of focus on making TVAs more, I don't know, more adopted, because um, this is exactly what you say, that you stay in one app. So TVAs are they're interacting with the Telegram itself very successfully, and they feel very native, you know. So again, in the next year, 2023, we are going to know so much more about Ton and about Telegram. So it is definitely worth having a closer look on that. If you want, I don't know, to talk more about some Ton stuff, and like which areas we should go to invest and stuff, maybe you can outreach to me on LinkedIn too. And we have this Ton proxy. As I said, it's not just Ton blockchain. We have Ton blockchain, Ton proxy, Ton payments, Ton storage. And again, there's many things to come. So um, from this perspective, you are very early at the party if you join, and it's going to be beneficial for you, because that's what we want to know. Are we going to profit if we are going to invest now? That's the essence of the question, right? Is it investable?
Yeah, what I also like about it is that we don't necessarily need to rely on the Bitcoin halving cycles and bull runs with Tom, because it's a great B2C environment, if you ask me.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think that. Well, we will definitely have the correlations with the market itself, but you could see when FTX was falling apart and the whole market was a red ocean of blood. Check what was the price of the ton. Of course, I know that probably market makers were doing it and stuff. I don't know. I'm not very advanced in this price manipulation or stabilization, but I think that we are very independent from the rest of the market. So not all the pumps and dumps are going to affect us. I would put it this way. And I wanted to show this Telegram, like how Telegram is integrating now. So this is the fragment.com, and you could buy a username, and you can see like some of them cost more than $100,000. You can buy a username in Telegram, and you can buy a number that you could use for registration on Telegram. If you own this NFT, you could use this number, and you could buy Telegram Premium. So 6 months, yeah. So this is something that we see some steps from Telegram, and I hope we will see even more of those very soon. So there, it is reasonable consideration to think that Tone will be integrated very deeply into Telegram. But we will see. I'm not in position to make any statements on that. And something that I would love to show you and the auditory. Just today, like 1 hour ago, there was official winner announcements for the hackathon, Dora Hacks. There was a lot of projects, like up to 200 projects globally, and Didust won this hackathon. They got more than $100,000 worth of Toncoin. And if you guys want to have a look at some of these projects, you can go to Dora Hacks. And if you need an introduction, like some proper introduction to these project founders, you could also outreach on that. Yeah. So basically, I think that's kind of it for what I wanted
Yeah,
to
are we
say.
gonna repeat the same hackathon? Like, for example, I was not aware of it. Otherwise, we'd probably participate with some of the cool ideas that we have around town.
Yeah, this is probably our mistake that you were not aware, but we did a lot of promotion to it too. Like, I was, you remember we met in Abu Dhabi recently
Yeah,
from one of your events? Directly from this event, I went to Istanbul for the hackathon branch, like offline part of it.
here we go.
Yeah, so it was very close to you, but somehow you were not aware. But it's we should improve on that. Of course, we should improve always to make a better presence, have more like ambassadors who could properly present Ton and like Ton's activities. So we will improve on that for sure.
Cool. We are running towards the round of the hour. Do you want to add any closing thoughts?
Um, yes. If you give me maybe 1 or 2 minutes, I just show a few things about what I'm doing, Ton and Co.
Sure. Do you want to keep presenting the screen?
Yeah, I will show this on screen. I will not go very deep. I just will say that this is our YouTube channel, and you can only see 3 videos, but we actually went through a crazy process when YouTube just deleted our channel. We had more than 20,000 views per month and like more than 1,000 subscribers. And this is something that you will get a lot of discrimination if you are not very popular blockchain yet. So we got our channel deleted. This is not official Ton channel. This is our Ton and Company channel. So here's a very interesting interview that came out recently from DVF Labs, also about investments. So you should have a look. And another thing we're building is a platform. You could also have a look here at the the projects. So projects are listing in some of the categories they're joining, and they actually hanging around here. Like we have like a course for onboarding. We have like we actually make this place for like a platform for builders to build better products. So this is why this is how we are planning to get a lot of traction on our launchpad, because we are building a launchpad, and maybe I might show you a little bit of it because it's not in release yet. But basically, we took a different look from other people, like how they see launchpads, and we actually decided to wait a second. Yeah, I will just keep showing. So we actually decided to build a completely decentralized launchpad that would, yeah, prepared it here, that would enable projects to launch their Jeton token like without any censorship. Of course, we will not promote ICOs that are like scam, obviously for us, and but we don't censor at all. So anybody could come and launch his Jetons. It's very integrated with the current ecosystem of DEXs, so you could even lock liquidity after listing on the DEXs. And we also support, like, we would generate the whole chapter of tokenomics for your white paper. So this is going to be a very helpful tool, and I hope that we will launch very soon. I mean, that's pretty much it. So we do three things, and maybe one day we will have more in depth look on that. But I understand that also like we are running out of time. So if I would have to conclude, I like this talks about investability is always put you in the danger that you're almost, it almost sounds like you're giving investment advice, but I cannot. And
But
I
you are
love.
not. You're just chilling or not chilling the layer one. And in your case, you're. I don't feel you are shilling it. You're providing a very objective or say cool and level-headed perspective on it with its pros and cons. For which I actually I have a lot of respect for you and your public position because it's very cool-headed.
Thank you. What I would say, like advice I can give, and it would be like take some action. Like I don't say buy ton. I say take some action. Read the website. So small action can give a birth to another small action. So basically, if you take some action, then you make sure that you don't miss out on big opportunity. So even just to text me on LinkedIn and ask me something about Ton would be an action, or text Ian, or I don't know, text whoever you know who is in Ton, and like watch an interview on YouTube. It's like small things that are normal for you, that would be a prerequisite to investing. I know throwing 100K because some guy in the hoodie said it's cool blockchain. It's not something cool, right? So I would say take action, take small action, and don't stop. So this is the way to succeed, I believe.
Yeah, a small action like starting a project on Town ecosystem.
Yeah, yeah, very well could be, and launching it on Launchpad from Tonico, it would be a small successful action.
Cool. Why don't you
Yeah.
keep us posted? And hey, we can repeat this live stream in a bit, like 2, 3, 4 weeks. Like it doesn't have to be a one-off thing. We can be gathering in the future, and I'm pretty sure we'll do as we are discussing some partnerships. Uh,
Hmm.
Separately. So like really excited about that. And thanks for coming today. I know it's Friday evening, so I hope you are off to some great Friday night and weekend activities. And I hope to see you soon next week. I'm in Dubai on Monday, so we should catch up, have some
Yeah,
lunch.
we should. Yeah, and thank you so much for inviting. I really appreciate your approach, and I really appreciate your attitude towards Ton and towards Ton and Co. and towards me personally. I'm really grateful for that.
Lovely. Thanks for coming, bro.
Yeah. See you soon.
Thanks
Bye
for
bye.
watching, everybody. Cheers now.